I'd like to welcome everybody to the March edition of the Tips and Tricks SIG. And today is National Pi Day 3.14. Ta-da! A little bit of trivia that nobody needed to know, but we're all techies, we're all geeks here. So anyone that used to use Pi?
Are you serving pie?
Yeah, we're serving pie. You have to bring the pineapple express pie. Let's see, Bob, he's out east, so he gets to bring the apple pie because he's close to the eastern seaboard where they got the apples over there. Yeah. Who's up in Minnesota? Anybody? Nobody? We can't. From Michigan, we need some. Oh, well, Carl, you can bring us some peach pie. You got apples there too.
We're better off with cherry pies.
Cherry pies. Oh, I like that one. Okay. And I'm sure someone down here can find a rhubarb pie. Ooh, those are good. All right, off topics there. 3.14. Our typical format will be actually we have our open forum, if you will, and we have our topic. And we can, we could start out with topics and then go to open forum if people would like. Maybe we can mix it up a little tonight, or we can stick with open forum first and go to topics. Any consensus here?
When you brought up the word pie, I thought you were going to start talking about that new Elon Musk pie phone that was going to come out at the time.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Carl.
Well, he supposedly is developing, and the Apple threatened to remove Twitter at one time. So he said that if that happens, I'll create my own phone. And apparently, there's been a lot of rumors about it, but yeah, some sort of Pi satellite phone that he's supposedly developed.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Phone. And a Tesla phone?
Yeah.
Is that what he's talking about? Tesla phone Pi, right. Okay, yeah. Here, I'm fine. Oh, it's on YouTube. I can't go there. Stop.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do something with this commercial that popped up. Bear with me. I can't do anything. Skip ads. Hold on. I'm going to share this on YouTube, on Zoom.
Cool.
Since Carl brought this up.
Oh, tomorrow. I've seen it referred to as a satellite phone. Is that true? Is it a true satellite phone? I'm not sure.
Hold up. Let's talk.
No sound, Sanford.
You don't hear it?
No, you have to share your audio.
I'm sorry, I thought you were getting the audio. Why is this not sharing?
No, you got to go up at the top where you shut down. There's an option in there that allows you to share the audio.
Let me stop sharing the screen again, and then I'll do a new share. Maybe I'll do it this way instead. Let's see if this works. Tell me if this works.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Like I said, up at the top where you did stop sharing, there's a down button that drops down a menu, and one of the options is to share the audio of the video.
There's view options?
Yes. It's not for us, it's for him.
Yeah.
Whoever shares the screen.
Okay, what am I doing? Share screen.
Yeah, it's way at the top, Sanford.
I'm trying that, sir.
Okay.
Oh, I see it. It was an option when I go to start the session.
Yes.
There we go. All right, now I'll back this up and hopefully this will work.
15th of March.
Got it. Yes.
Turning to the mobile phone industry. What could be the specs of this phone that make it satellite level? Can it overthrow the $2 trillion worth Apple? Join us as we take a look at what this product is that Elon has been cooking, and how he could be the next Steve Jobs, or rather making Steve Jobs look like toned-down Musk. There have been multiple rumors and fan speculations that the tech all-father of the modern world is brewing up a super phone, dethroning the likes of Apple, Samsung, and Xiaomi. But Musk has constantly said that's just hearsay. We can take a look at some of the websites that provide accurate information on the Pi phone. The article states how Elon Musk and Tim Cook came to terms with the fact that Apple won't be taking out Twitter from the App Store despite the rumors. In contrast to many articles, this article from Cyber Backpack has moved deep into the specifics of the color palette offered, which is a completely foreign land with no website ever graced. The advent of these fan speculations came through when Clean Technica, a newsfeed company that covers a lot of clean, renewable energy, came up with a speculative article that Tesla is working with partners to create smartwatches. Musk, however, swung back, turning down the rumor, while boldly claiming that smartwatches and phones are a thing of the past and that Neuralinks are the future. What could this mean? Could this mean that Neuralink-powered smart devices are the future, or maybe Neuralink will remain as a standalone unit to overthrow the conventional devices of tomorrow? What it could be or not be is a sight to behold when the unit comes out this March. But very recently, there has been talk of the town about a, again speculative, iPhone. Only this time it was from Musk. This happened when Liz Wheeler, the American political commentator and podcast host, tweeted that there are plans that Apple and Google might boot Twitter from their respective application stores after Musk's recent Twitter acquisition. However, as we know from the article mentioned earlier, Tim Cook buried the hatchet with Musk, but this much later. Musk took to Twitter, replying to Wheeler that if push comes to shove, Tesla might have to retaliate with a phone of their own. What this might potentially be is out of the question. Renders of the product suggest that it's a smartphone, but it's Elon we're talking about. We could expect something out of this world, much like the features are rumored to be. We're aware that the products produced by Tesla and SpaceX exhibit a remarkable harmony between cutting-edge technology and ongoing innovation. This new smartphone is yet another illustration of its exceptional quality, and Tesla will demonstrate to us some of the most cutting-edge and innovative smartphones this year, and it'll undoubtedly be a time of new realities, opportunities, and inventions. This technological innovation is several steps ahead of its time, or it could be just a marketing ploy, as will be revealed on March 15th. Until then, we need to hold on tight.
All right, I'm going to pause that and stop the video since this is all speculation and we don't know what's out. But at least Carl apprised us the fact that there is a phone that's potentially might be coming out from Tesla.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be tomorrow, right? Sorry, you're right. So we'll find out if he does actually come out with one, and it'll probably be satellite based, since he doesn't have to rely on cell towers and use his own system.
Which would make good sense.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, that was a cool thing to start out with. So let's open up the floor with our first question of the evening. Anyone have any problems or questions they would like us to address tonight? Go ahead, Bill.
I got an email from LastPass saying that they had a security breach. And Tim, I was wondering if that's true.
Oh, they've had two already this year. The last one was fairly recently, where some idiot remote employee on his home systems didn't have all of his software up to date. It got hacked, and they got a hold of master passwords for LastPass. What effect that would have, I don't know, and nobody seems to be saying if they do know. I think the people using any kind of a password manager that do not have a strong passphrase may be at risk. There are people I know from other groups, etc., that are abandoning LastPass by exporting all their information into a file and going to another password manager. An example would be Bitwarden.
Natasha?
So that's as far as I can tell you at the moment. So far, as far as I know and am concerned, I don't feel any imminent threat for me, because I usually keep my stuff pretty strong anyhow, compared to most people. And generally speaking, there's another issue with LastPass. They're trying to force what's called the vault view, which looks like business cards, versus the way it used to be. There is a setting that can be changed, but as soon as you reboot your computer and bring it back up, it's back to the vault mode, and you have to set that setting again to get what I'm comfortable with. And that at the moment might be more of a reason for me to change from LastPass. I did have conversations with them via email, and apparently their policy going forward is to have that vault view, which I think is crap.
So-
Did you say that they got a hold of the secure password?
The master passwords to LastPass administration access.
Wow.
The one you would use to log in to get access to all your other passwords. That's the one that they got.
They have access potentially to everybody's vault, but your vault is encrypted on your machine. You put a copy back up into the cloud. So unless the person or persons who get a hold of a copy of somebody's vault has very good cracking software, because LastPass doesn't know what your pass phrase is. That's why they cannot help you. By being ignorant of that and not having that on their system anywhere, that means somebody has to have like a supercomputer to be able to crack the passphrases, unless they're weak.
So in short, does Bill need to worry?
I don't feel any worry, but I don't know what he feels his passphrase to his vault is.
It's 16 characters, so it's pretty strong.
15? Well,
16.
okay, I used to use 16, but recently in the last 4 to 6 months, based upon security news from somewhere else, I started moving up to 20. And it's funny, CCS's website's on WordPress, and they want 20 character passwords.
I don't use it much. I only use it on my iPad right now. I was just trying it out. And because I really don't, that's what I use most of the time anymore. I don't use a PC too much. And I haven't found it to be all that useful at the moment.
It's something that you, any kind of a password manager, I don't care what it is. If you've never been using one, it's going to take you time and patience and effort to learn it and get into the rhythm of using it on a regular basis. I have been using it since probably at least 2009, or maybe a little earlier than that. So it's a case where with me, I'm very comfortable with it for years. So it makes a big difference. If you're not used to a password manager doing a lot of the work for you, then bottom line is you're not going to be that impressed with it until you really start exercising it and playing with it on a regular basis.
But right now, I only have a couple websites on it, because that's really the ones that I check on the iPad. As I understand iPass or LastPass, you have to log into it.
Right.
And then once you've logged into it, you use it.
Right.
Okay,
Basically, when you bring up a website, let's take, for example, a drugstore, Walgreens, CVS, something like that. You would bring up that basic page there. You go to sign in. If you've already got a LastPass entry for that drugstore,
Right.
it will offer that. There are a couple different ways of doing it. It can auto-populate, which I don't recommend.
I saw
Or
that.
you click on the icon in the user's name, it will show you the account entry in LastPass. You click that, it'll automatically fill in the name and password, and then you just log in.
Right, that's the way I went, that second way.
Right.
But I'm not using it all that much, so I don't know, I'll play with it some more. But
I've got-
I was just concerned, I didn't even want to access the email, because I wasn't sure if it was legit or bogus.
Well, I use, that's the one big problem you're gonna have along with everybody else. What do you get that is real versus some kind of scam?
Yep,
If they're asking for personal information, get the hell out of it.
uh-huh,
It's a scam.
okay, thanks.
Okay, that was a great question.
I've
Next
got,
question?
I don't have a question, but I have something that came up in the news that I made a note on. I can either share the note on screen or I can read it off, one of the two.
Just go ahead and read it off.
Okay, hang on a second here. All right.
And then after this, we need an update on Dennis's wife's computer updating.
On
I see the eyebrows move.
this is I look at this as a tip. The source of this was Tech Talk on WGN at lunchtime, Channel 9. And it's about Apple AirTags. The batteries may need replacing if they're not already dead. In the settings in your, usually it's your iPhone, but it probably applies also to an iPad. There's a setting where you can check low battery level, and it's a battery on its side. And if it's in the red area, that's a battery that's almost dead. And with Apple AirTags, if you have, say, I'm a right-handed person. So if I have the AirTag in my left palm, I use, with the logo facing me, take probably my thumb, put it on the logo, press down into it, and twist it. Now they didn't tell what direction, but I'm assuming counterclockwise, like a screw. And that top will come off. You'll see your battery, which is a CR2032 cell. You put another one in with one proviso. They said button cells with bitter coatings to try and stop children from swallowing these batteries may not work correctly. So bottom line, it's best to use plain ordinary cells. Just keep them away from the kids. And there are also trackers that work with Android. There is one that has a tracker that has a built-in key ring. Apple doesn't have that. Yes. Sam?
The one thing, after you install that battery, you may have to repair it with your device.
Yes. But they didn't specify that, but I already figured that because you kill the connection.
Right, and once it loses that continual connection, you're rebooting it from fresh, and you have to repair it to your device. That is. Anyone in this group use Apple AirTags besides myself?
There's also Android ones
Okay.
like Tile and Samsung.
Right.
There's rumors that Google's going to come out with one at there's a that one that looks uses Apple's infrastructure, the same as AirTags, that's at Walmart. They didn't specify a price, but it has a built-in key ring, so you can put it on a ring of keys real easy without an adapter like you have to have for Apple AirTags. There's also a credit card. It costs $35 up front. It fits in your wallet and allows you to find your misplaced wallet, but you cannot replace the battery. You have to exchange it with that company. They only charge half price for the replacement. So your mileage is going to vary, but these are getting very, very popular. But batteries like in smoke detectors in homes that aren't using the long-term battery only last about a year at most anyhow. That's why you're supposed to keep checking once a year your smoke alarms and that to possibly replace your batteries.
Yeah, the AirTags generally only last about a year, the battery in them. So yeah, they have to be replaced. Usually your device is the AirTag is supposed to notify your phone to tell you that the battery is running low and it needs to be replaced. But it is a good idea to periodically check and make sure that AirTag is still paired with your phone and utilize the Find My app. For those of us that are on the Apple infrastructure, the Find My app is where you track down your AirTags. It's also where you could track down your phone or other devices that are Apple, or you can have other people that you know let you know where they're at by their sharing their location using the Find My app. And it's very handy, extremely handy, especially if you're, let's say you're going to meet up with a family member, you're coming from different directions, or you're flying into a location. You say, I'll be at the airport at such and such a time. Use the Find My. Once you landed or you're going someplace, they'll be able to trace where you are so you guys can meet at the right time. It's a wonderful thing. It really is. The one thing that Apple AirTags do that's a little different than the Tile and the other companies that are out there is Apple utilizes the Apple infrastructure network. That is because of the proliferation of so many Apple phones. If Tim was to had an AirTag on a device and he loses it, he doesn't know where it is. Somebody else walking down the street who has an iPhone, and Tim, I want to say, I got to add in, Tim will say, I lost this device or something. It will then start pinging softly. You don't hear it, but any other Apple phone that goes by will pick up that signal and transmit it to Tim and say, here's the location of your AirTag. The other person doesn't even know this is going on. It's picked up by their Bluetooth or their Wi-Fi or something on their phones. I'm not sure.
I think it's
exactly
Bluetooth.
how it works. But that's a nice thing. They're very easy to track down.
I
Speaking of
also like the
Bluetooth,
Mac Tracker software.
Yeah.
speaking of Bluetooth, should you keep that on or off? I think Kim Commando says shut it off. A lot of crap can come in through Bluetooth.
Well, if you aren't using a Bluetooth device, that's true, because then it will not drain your battery of energy. But if you're using Bluetooth, such as the AirTag or other things like that, or headphone, earbuds, etc., that operate off of Bluetooth, you turn off Bluetooth on the phone, you don't have that connection.
Bluetooth is used in most cars. If you go and get in your car and you want your car to sync up with your phone, you got to have that Bluetooth turn on. If you turn it off, then you will not get that syncing. It's a matter of what works in your lifestyle. Kim Commando says don't turn it on unless you need it, because it can be a security problem, and it can also be a tracking problem. That is, when some years ago, and I don't know, a lot of it is being done today, but they were speculating that grocery stores were going to use it. As you're walking down an aisle, it's going to pop up on your phone. using your phone's Bluetooth, oh, we have a sale on Campbell's soup in this aisle. You know, that was supposed to happen. I've never ever seen this, but you know,
I agree with you, Sanford. It was called a Bluetooth beacon. And
Right.
they would hide it on the store shelves. And as you walk near it, that's when you would get the ad pop up if you have notifications on.
and I've never seen this pop up. I've
Neither
never,
have
and
I.
all the times traveling, you know, anywhere, you know, Bluetooth, yeah, maybe when I'm in an airport or in an area where I believe there might be nefarious people around, I might turn off my Bluetooth, but I have too many, I do have things that sync up to it, but occasionally I'll turn it off.
A lot of medical devices today sync up to it.
There you go. So that's a reason not to turn it off. If you have a medical device of any kind that's utilizing that.
And Wayne, Bluetooth has a maximum range of around 33 yards. So anything past that generally cannot affect Bluetooth directly.
I was thinking that was 33 feet.
No, it's supposed to be 33 meters, which is about a little over
90 something feet,
There you go.
100 feet.
Carl's going to look it up and fact check this. Please do.
Well, 1 meter is 3.3 feet.
Right.
So
I usually
Okay.
keep,
That was a great, sorry, Bill,
I keep Bluetooth turned off,
you keep it turned off, but
just
you
to
know,
save my battery.
the batteries are so good on these phones today that, I mean, I don't worry about it, but
and you throw it on the
But-
charger, you know, at night or something like that, you don't need to be concerned
Right.
over it. Unless you just forget.
gotta replace
Well,
mine.
this way-
battery.
With Bluetooth turned off, and also turn cellular off while I'm at home. So I don't have to charge it except every other day.
Okay,
I was doing pretty good, but fairly recently this year, my battery now needs to be replaced. So that's something I gotta schedule getting taken care of.
there is a reason to use cellular in your home though, Bill. If you're
What's that?
if you're doing anything that you need encryption for, AKA banking, on your phone, then I would not go over Wi-Fi, even in your own home. I would
Correct.
I would definitely go over cellular for something like that, because that
Safest.
has a higher encryption rate and it's SSL between you and the bank. That's the most secure way of doing things like that.
Unless you have a VPN. A VPN on the phone would be able to encrypt it over the Wi-Fi.
Okay, that's good for me to know, but I don't do banking on my phone.
Okay,
I don't do any financial stuff on the phone.
okay,
Now,
What do you do when they
if I was
force you?
away from the house, then I might, but I'd have cellular turned on anyway.
As far as Bluetooth range goes, you have 3 classes. The most common is class 2, and that's basically what we're talking about in most cases. Most devices use class 2, your cars, your headsets, your headphones, da-da-da. Anyway, they transmit at 2.5 milliwatts with a range of 10 meters, which is 33 feet. There's a class 1 that transmits at 100 milliwatts. We don't get to play with those. And that is about a range of 100 meters.
there's our fact check. Thanks, Carl.
Well,
All right, next question, new direction. Oh, we got to hear about Dennis's wife's computer upgrade. Please fill us in, Dennis. Where are you at on this? If you're nowhere, that's fine. We're just curious.
All the things that I've had going on with my family, my computers and that are like the bottom of the list.
Okay, but
With the
go ahead.
one exception that I did order those Eufy cameras.
Oh, you did? Okay,
So because I want to set, my brother lives 3/4 of a mile away and I take care of him.
right.
And I want to set up a camera there because sometimes his phones go out. It's caused a big problem. Like I'll try to call him at 11 o'clock at night and there's no answer. And it'll ring, ring, ring. Well, then I find out it's the line. His line died. So I'm going to set up a camera so I can actually see if he's there. So that's the only technology thing that right now is my high priority.
Did you already get those cameras?
So I just ordered them. I didn't receive them yet.
Okay,
What kind of cameras?
The
it's,
EUFI cameras at Sanford,
Oh,
not at a
yeah.
previous meeting.
yeah, in the last meeting, we were talking about Internet of Things or smart devices. And one of the things that I brought up was a very inexpensive camera that's made by a company, EUFY, Eufy. And they have a static position camera. That means it's on a post and it just points in one direction. However, I think it's a 1080p and it does two-way communication. So you can talk to the person on the other side and they can hear you, and vice versa, they could talk to you. And it's Wi-Fi, and it was like, what is it, 35 bucks a camera or something, or 50 bucks a camera?
The ones that are fixed focus and don't move or swivel, they reduce the price. It is like 35. I went a different way. They had a 2-pack of those for $55 that are refurbished. And I thought, hey, if I'm going to try this out, I'm going to buy the refurbished because they gave you 60 days to return them for any reason. So I figured, hey, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll just take it back.
Sure.
But they do have other cameras now that, you can change it, point it in different directions, more expensive cameras like that. The ones I got are the fixed.
Right, and that, yeah, and that one, and you had told me you were interested in that. I did throw out there whether or not you wanted one that actually moved like a pan and tilt for your brother's situation. Okay, and that's what I was wondering. I don't know where you're going to physically put it and how that would work, but I just threw that at you so you could understand. Carl has got cameras all over his house. He's got security cameras and swivels them up and down, and he's been doing this for decades.
I heard it.
Well, my brother spends 95% of his time in one room in the house, so I'm pretty well.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And you're the only one who have access to it. You put it on your phone and you put, or your whatever device you're going to monitor it on. And you could have other family members watch it too if they need to, whether it be your wife or somebody else. You could have 2-3 people logged in to the same feed. It's kind of nice. We use it to watch our pet when we're gone, and yes. Oh, I thought Harry was talking. So that was our case there, or my use situation. And Dennis, I'm glad. I want to hear next month how that goes.
Okay.
And they're pretty easy to set up. Just get the app and sync it all up and then put the camera someplace. I think you have to go through a procedure that you have to tell the like you link up to the camera, and then the camera, you have to give it the Wi-Fi password for your network. And then after that, things start working out, but you go through the setup procedures that they have.
I was reading a lot of reviews online about it, and overall, it seems to have a pretty good rating. Although some people talked about that the thing has to phone home all the time to servers in China. And I didn't know if that was true or not. I don't know.
Nothing. I don't know anything about that.
Does the cameras have passwords to restrict access?
Yes.
That would be in the app.
Yeah, every system has security.
Well, there's a lot of people that have had various cameras over the years. They don't read the instructions. They have the default manufacturer's passwords, and then they can't figure out how they end up on porn sites.
Well, the new cameras today, like I have about 20 Wyze cameras in my house, and I'm part of the Wyze testing group. So I get a lot of their cameras and their home security system And the minute you go in and you create an account, that's where you put your password in. Now, anything else you do password wise is going to be when you need to add in your Wi-Fi, the name of your Wi-Fi system, and then the password for the Wi-Fi. So if I were to give Sanford, if he downloaded the Wyze app and I let him log in, he can see all my cameras that I allow him to see, or I could just share my cameras with him, certain cameras, certain features of the system. You have that feature. But basically, once you log in and create an account for your camera, whatever it is, Eufy, Ring, any one of them, Wyze, you're always going to create your master account, and that's going to be your login from that point on. And of course, all you have to do is go to the app and it automatically recognizes you. They all use facial recognition now. Most of them do, at least. So, but I like the new Wyze. I don't know if anybody's ever played with the Wyze cameras. The new camera they have sits on top of another camera, and you've got one that's got a standard lens, and the one on top has got a 3.5 a zoom lens. So you're actually seeing two, and then you can do picture in picture, where you can have the big screen in one side and the zoom on the other, or you can reverse them when you're looking at that camera. That's a brand new camera that they came out with. And those are $19.99. Just can't go wrong.
Wow.
Does it
Did you
allow
ever try
two-way
those, Carl?
Pardon?
Did you ever try those?
No, I haven't tried those. Not that kind. No.
Now,
no.
does
Yeah,
that do
they're-
two-way communication or just one way?
Yes.
Oh, it
two-way.
does?
Yeah, everything is two-way. These were, if you look up the story of these guys from Wyze, they were three guys that started out working for Amazon. They left Amazon and they went on their own and started the company Wyze. And I mean, it's WYZE. They have everything from the robot, floor cleaner, to vacuum cleaners, to a scale, $19.99. The watch, like I got my other brother for $20. That
Doesn't,
does everything.
don't the cameras need a hub
No,
or a home base?
no,
No.
just Wi-Fi. The alarm system works with a hub. It comes with the hub. At one time, I think I paid for our. I just keep adding on to it, but I think the initial cost for the home alarm was like $59. Included the hub, included 3 door sensors and window glass break detection sensors, and then you could just keep adding on to whatever you want, And I mean, my system, I have 17 entry and exit doors, guys. So I have every door, and every time somebody opens a door, it rings, you hear a dong or whatever, ding dong, whatever, and it alerts you. And you could change that for different doors, but I just leave it all the same. And yeah, I like their alarm system. You could take the alarm system and make it go to anywhere you want. They'll even give you a certificate you can give to your police department, because they actually do have a monitoring agency that works with them. And I love it. I love their system. I really do. I know some friends that have it in their stores, retail stores, and they keep adding cameras just all the time. They have one that I have one in the hallway of my house that it's work on motion, and it'll actually depict if somebody's in the room. You could alert it to the one outside if a package is being delivered. It'll detect packages. It'll detect a deer when it goes by. You could tell it, oh, that's a deer, we don't care. And it, unless the deer goes in the garbage can, then you care. But other than that, it's pretty neat. It's got a lot of advantages, and I'm still learning. There's so much to learn with all this new technology, drives you nuts.
Did you call up the website?
WYZE.com, Wyze.com.
Just talking to Sanford.
Oh, can I? Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And in fact, if you can, look at the history of Wyze. They have that YouTube video. I don't know how long it is, but if it's not that long, maybe you want to look at it for a second.
Let's see. Let's pull up the Wyze stuff first. Wyze camera, and you got a
Oh,
pet cam.
excuse me one second. And they're also now available. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them also at Costco now, and Home Depot.
Let's see. Wyze security
Or-
cameras.
That's
Bear
cool.
with me. I'm still pulling this up and I'll share this screen. Share.
So Rick, when you log into your account and you have your, whatever you said, 19 cameras, then you just kind of scroll and pick the one you want to see through?
Right. So in other words, let's see if I could do this here. Once my account comes up, I don't know if you could see that.
Well, what device are you watching the Zoom on?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, no, I just logged into the app. Oh, I'm on iPad.
so pull it up on your iPad and then you could share the screen. We could walk,
I could show, how do I do that?
we'll tell you how to do it.
Okay, so I can pull up the Wyze app.
You pull up the Wyze app and open that.
Okay, hold on.
I think what does he got to do? I got to stop sharing. First thing first, before we do that, I'm on the page so we could see, turn off this guy talking over here. And
No sound, Sanford.
well, I'm not doing any video. This
Oh, okay.
this is what the camera looks like. I guess color, night vision, outdoor rated. A package, you could talk to them. And I think I saw, what is their pricing on these things?
The first screen you had there was like about $36.
Yeah, you can get the brand new one that came out. It's 1080 and it's $19.99. And they have a flat $5 shipping fee now, and that's it.
Screen before this, back up a screen.
Yeah, I know I got it.
There you
Now I
go.
think I got it.
The V3 is the brand new model.
Rick, how does that color night vision look?
Awesome.
Is it that?
They're all beautiful. I mean, I could pull one up from here. I think I have to re-log in because whenever they start a, they send the beta testers out, that you have to re-log in.
Okay.
So let me.
So how much, I can't see this, it's hidden behind my pane here. What is that?
They're saying the price for one is $36.
36 bucks. Okay, so this is another option that's out there. These are static position ones. It means you put them and you point them and that's where they stay.
Rick, does yours keep like recording? I mean, you can go back.
Yes, now they have a feature. Let's see how I do this. Okay, they have a feature that you can put a SIM card in each one. So I put a 32 gigabyte SIM card in there. And if I want, I could just go to the camera, you push the button on it, it ejects, and you can play it on your PC, or you can even go back there and play it. How do I get I logged back in, how do I get it up here now?
Okay, so you pull up Zoom. And down
Okay, I mean, I have you in here.
Okay, someone's gonna have to help them through on an iPad. I am not familiar with the screens on an iPad for Zoom sharing. Bill, do you know how to do it?
I haven't done it in a while, so I don't remember.
Okay, wait, Zoom, hold on, maybe here, Zoom.
You're in
Tips and
Zoom.
tricks. No, okay, no,
and
that's not it.
there should be something on towards the bottom that says share screen.
No, that's not there. It would have to be towards the top.
Yeah, I think on iPads, the bar is on the top instead of the bottom. To base that on Bert using an iPad before.
Okay. More, let's see what this does here.
Yeah, more would be it.
Chat, show captions, background effects,
There you go.
raise hand. So which one do I want?
Share screen.
I don't even see that. I just see chat, show captions, meeting session, meeting settings.
Nope.
Let's see,
Share
show
screen is right
yourself.
in the middle of the bottom. Share screen is right down at 6 o'clock.
I don't have that.
No, that's only on a PC and maybe on.
Oh,
Mac.
okay, share content. Hold on. I got it. Screen. Okay.
And then it should be able to give you the one you want to share. meaning pick your Wyze thing.
No, it's not showing that. Everything on your screen, including notifications, will be recorded. Nope. Share content. Let's try this again. Huh. You don't see it, huh?
No, we don't. And it could be an Apple thing. I'm sure they have it on there. I just never tried to do it.
Yeah. I know I could bring it up, but let me,
Well, so anyways, it's not important for us to see the screen, but
Right.
it does come up in the app and you can go through all the different screen cameras that you have, right?
yes.
Does it show them all one at a time or all of them?
Yeah, you can go into do different ones. Like I'm gonna go here to exterior cams and see what I have here.
So it'd be like you could do a gallery view.
Yes, so, oh, there I am. How come I don't see myself anymore?
Yeah, we don't see you either, but that's okay. We don't need to see you.
Hey, be nice.
Hey, I was sitting with him all day today. I'm done with him.
Where you can now pin, okay, let's see. Okay, share content, shut that off.
He's my bro.
He's a bro.
He's my bro.
Does anyone out there use true IP cams?
Okay, let's see, if I do it this way, I think it will put them all.
There we go. Yeah, we could see 4 screens up there.
Okay, so I'm just gonna grab one.
If you put your video on Zoom on speaker, you'll see it bigger.
This happens to be a new firmware, no upgrade. And that's another thing. So this is actually looking from my top floor of my house, looking out at the golf course. I don't know how, and that's the picture right now at night. So that's not bad for,
That's pretty good considering it's dark outside already.
yeah. And then, let me
The
see
sun
what
set
else.
about an hour ago.
No, that's live.
See
This
now
one's
Dennis
looking
is
at
second
a
guessing.
driveway. That's one's looking at a driveway right now.
Okay. Yeah, those are clear. Wow.
Now I'm gonna do this one here, which is an interior. Interior indoors. Okay, so I've got one in my kitchen and I've got another one in the hallway. Now the hallway, oh, you can hear my voice. Actually can, so this one here is a hallway and that one I can pan up or pan down. I have to use the controls for that. But
We
that
can
one
pan
is a motion and it does pan and tilt.
Okay.
So do they alert you, Rick, when they detect
Yes.
motion?
Yeah, I turn most of the alerts off on at certain parts. This is in the kitchen looking towards the other areas. And the reason I turn them off is like I have the one in the kitchen and in the hallway is basically because my father-in-law has ALS and a little bit of dementia. We just want to make sure that he's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's where I'm getting my cameras, yeah.
Right. He likes to walk around. And before, what really got me into the cameras was we have a big house and he would come home from work and he would open up the garage door. And we live off of a golf course. So people would come from the golf course, and they try to break into your house. And we took it and made it so when you pulled in the driveway, one camera would go off. He would go into the garage, a second camera would go off. And then he would open up the doors and now you know that it's him, getting into the house. Then he would always go into the hallway and, come out of his kitchen into the hallway and we knew it's definitely him, And it's just for safety. And I mean, with everything, the shenanigans that are going on now, I think we need it anyway. I mean, to me, excuse me, the more the merrier, you
Yep.
know?
And did you say it saves the video? You can see it back later?
Yes, now I pay $100. I bought a subscription because they give you what they call Cam Plus. And it's like $1.99 a month per camera, but I bought it for the year for as many cameras as you have. And I think it was like $100, same thing with like Ring. So therefore I just am able to, you know, I go back and play them, and they give you a recording, I think, of like 30 seconds off of the Cam Plus, or as long as you need on it, you know, and you could go in there and tighten it or you know, make it bigger with that. So yeah, they are pretty good. Hey, buy them on Amazon. You don't like them, guess what? Send them back. You
Send it-
know,
Send it back.
and you'll notice the difference when you buy them on Amazon is that the Amazon charges that $5 for delivery. It's added right into it. So even if you have Amazon Prime, you're going to pay a couple dollars more for the camera on Amazon than you are through Wyze themselves. And I've never actually had to return anything back. You hear people say, "Oh, I'm fed up with this. I'm fed up with that." Well, you're doing something wrong. You know, you're one of those that don't read the instructions.
Sure.
You know, so but I really am happy with them. I got to say that. You know.
I set up, you know, I've got a number of different kind of cameras. I've got some true IP cams that I can go out in the woods and set up a little wireless network and tie right into them from anywhere. And those I really like for that fact. I'm not reliant on anybody else's hubs, servers, anything like that. But then I also added, I don't know, 10, 12 of the Amazon Blink cameras. And what I like
Yes.
about is the batteries. I've got a couple now that are at least 2 years old, and I still haven't had replaced the batteries on, and they're on 24/7 every night. They're outside in the backyard through all this cold weather and winter, and I've been really happy with those. I've been real happy.
Do you use any cameras that rely on IoT data?
No,
Okay.
No.
Okay, because I have the Real Link cameras, and I'm very big in using those at different locations with the data SIM cards.
Hey, Rick,
No.
are your cameras battery operated too? Are they plug-in?
Yes, they do make it. They do make. There's one that they made for outdoor, and if they now made a second version of it. Yes, they do have the battery operated one, and I've really never put it outside. I don't know. You know, I just buy them anyway. Who cares? You know, I want to once it gets a little warmer, I want to put the newer ones outside. I want to get rid of the Ring cameras because for some reason the Rings are just not to my liking lately. And
Cold weather.
I'm sorry.
And them Ring cameras don't do well with cold weather.
No,
I found.
no, the Wi-Fi is very poor on them. The Wi-Fi on these new Wyze cameras are phenomenal. It goes through everything.
Wow.
So, yeah, like I said, if you buy them like on Amazon, you can always take them back. And they even have one that'll like a mount they had that would let you mount the camera directly on the glass, and it would filter even through a double pane window, which was neat because I was looking to get a filter, you know, to put in front of it. But now you don't need a filter for it.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with them.
Okay, new direction.
Sanford?
Yes.
Sanford, what was the spelling of the other camera?
EUFY. Edward, Underdog, Frank, Yo-Yo. All right. And then of course the Wyze and the Blinks. I'm using the Blink and I'm using Eufy in my house. I use the Blinks are outdoors. My doorbell and all my outdoor and my two outdoor ones are Blinks. And then the Eufy I use indoors selectively, but those are by choice. Now, in your case, Pete, you could set them up in the shop, which would be good to know. Somebody else comes in there in the middle of the night or something, you'll get to know. But the Blinks work
You
with
said One of those is what, like $19 or something?
No, that's Rick was talking about the Wyze cameras being 19. However,
They
we
they
saw
came back to the
35.
new camera, $19.
You'll have to do your own, shopping on this stuff to find your good prices. The Blink camera systems do use a module. And so the cameras report to a module, and the module you can have set to store all your video, and you do not have to pay for a subscription service with the Blink system. You could choose to use you could pay for it if you want, but you don't have to. That's the one thing I liked about the Blink. It kept it all. It actually keeps all my videos locally at my house, all on a USB stick that's plugged into this module.
Okay, so now my question is this. You're out and about, all of a sudden you get an alert on your camera that somebody's whatever. And can you go ahead and play that back?
Yeah.
While you're out in the field?
Yeah.
And can you send
Yeah.
that to somebody, that video, or?
I've not, I've never tried to do that part about sending.
I have, and you can. You download it and then you send it.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I've never looked into that, and looks like Dennis has posted something about, the Eufy ones. Okay. Thank you, Dennis. All right, shall we go? Oh, Dennis, you're muted. Dennis, we couldn't hear what you were saying.
Okay. Oh, I pressed on the space bar when I had chat open and it was scrolling across. It didn't unblock my microphone. It was scrolling in the chat window. I just said, yeah, I just posted the link. It's the 2-pack that I bought, the refurbished ones for $55 from Amazon. Not the new, but these are the refurbished.
So yes, like Carl had said, you can pull up the video, you download it to your phone or whatever, and there it's in your library, and you can send it wherever you want. And it's an MP4 file.
You mean on the Eufy?
No, that's on the Blink. I don't know. I have not tried to save anything locally with the Eufys. I've never experimented with it. I don't have not had a reason to do so. So your mileage may vary. Depends on which ones you decide to go with.
The best time to buy the Blink ones, if you go with those, is during the Amazon, their big sale. I mean, you
Prime
get
days.
them for 20
Does Amazon own Blink?
Blink, yes, they own Ring, and then they came out with their own version. They call it Blink.
Oh, Amazon did?
Yes, so Amazon took the technology that they bought from Ring, created a new camera, and are selling it under the name of Blink.
Okay, but you could buy Blink at Sam's Club also.
You can buy it. Yes, you can buy it at Sam's Club, I guess. But so anyways, I lost my train of thought on this one.
You're blinking too much.
I'm blinking too much. You guys got me.
Blink up.
Yeah. But like Carl was saying, the best time is to get it during Prime Day. Absolutely. So if you got time to wait till the next, and you don't mind, if you want to save a good amount, because sometimes they'll put better packages together, meaning, a doorbell, the two cameras and the hub for, X number of dollars, and whatever it's going to be, it'll be better than buying them separately if you need them, or you might, they'll have three.
Do they team up with Google or anybody, like with the Google Show or those kind of items?
Oh, I'm sure it works with Alexa.
Okay, because I know the Ring did, where you bought a Ring camera, the older version, and then you got a Google whatever, the picture machine, and it's like an Alexa box, and does video and everything. It was like for $40. You can't go wrong.
It says, does it work on Google Home? No, but there's a way of making it work.
Yeah. Which one?
Oh wait, Carl, you're on Amazon. in your
Yeah.
house? What are you using? You're using the Amazon Show, aren't you?
All my shows, any of my Echo shows there can definitely, I just say what camera I want to see, backyard, east, front door, whatever, and they all pop up on there.
So he's got the Echo Show system in his place.
And various models, any model I tried on, as long as it has a screen, it's worked.
For those that may or may not remember, I told you guys a couple of years ago about somebody that had a house where they lost electricity, and then when the lights turned on, that person, all their lights started flashing like a disco, like the house was possessed. That is Carl's house. His house is wired. Oh my God.
I was at the time, and all of a sudden my Ring doorbell's going off, and I answer it, and I look, and there's an officer of the law saying, "Is everything okay in there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He says, "Well, your house is going nuts. It's every room's blinking different and da-da-da." And so their default, I actually sent them a message saying, "You know what, I can write my own firmware update for this and fix this problem. Not a proper default to make it forever if you lose power." They actually changed that now. So it'll actually, if you lose power, it'll come back on, blink for just a couple minutes, and then it goes into a solid light. So they did fix that issue. But yeah, I had, there were people, someone that cruised by, put a video on YouTube, and they made a really good video about my house being possessed. They pulled into the driveway. There was a lady yelling in the background, "We gotta leave, we gotta leave." And they happened to be around Halloween when that happened as well. So
it was funny, and I did show that video to our group here, and everyone got a stitch out of it, Carl.
that was pretty.
Okay, new direction. Let's go on to something new. Anyone else have any other questions or problems? Yes, Dennis.
On your topic list for today, one of the things that talked about was how to protect your email contacts.
Okay, how to protect your email address book.
Well, the reason I wanted to, and I wasn't asking about that specifically, but what I wanted to bring up was I recently got one of these things to join Nextdoor. Are people familiar with Nextdoor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Neighborhood thing?
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
want to know if anybody has experience with it, and do you trust it? Because one of the
Yes.
things I found that Nextdoor does is they want to have access. This was a few years back when my sister's house got a local thing in the mail about joining Nextdoor. And I looked at it at the time, and they wanted to have full access to your contact list in your email address. And I thought
No,
that
you don't have to.
You don't have to do that with Nextdoor. But I would caution you. Nextdoor used to be pretty much local people, and they had human moderators who were neighborhood leads. It's gotten to be less that way since the pandemic, and there have been bots showing up. And people are getting into some ridiculous arguments on Nextdoor, and there's a lot of pettiness that has cropped up, and a lot of political stuff has crept in there. You can steer clear of it just by using common sense, but it has become more of an issue.
You're spot on there. I agree 100%. I've been with them since the beginning of the while, and that's exactly what my observation has been. And it used to be just my neighborhood. Now I'm getting stuff from people way farther away that I don't care about, so yeah, it's changed a little bit.
Let's talk about.
Well, when you put
about the
something up there, you're
benefits
able to share it with a wider demographic, I guess you call it, than
Yeah.
normal. Share to your neighborhood or share to a wider audience.
Yeah,
it's not a security issue. It's not a security issue is the main reason I was asking.
No,
there aren't a
no,
whole
I
lot of
like it,
security
but
issues.
there's up where I'm at. I mean, people talk about their dog walking on their property. Come on, we don't need to hear that, but that's how people are today. They got nothing to do but put crap like that up on Nextdoor. Oh, they broke into our car last night, but nobody says where. but you're talking about it. But did you leave your car open? Somebody says, of course. Well, that's why they broke into it. They really didn't break into it. They just opened the door, you know.
I
And
only
that's what
look at that-
you look at or you got to put up with.
I only look at that once in a blue moon, and you also see solicitations for business. So that small businesses and individuals are advertising what they can do for you. They usually don't specify the amount of money. You'd have to contact them and discuss it.
Yeah, but you can also, Nextdoor does still allow, one of its original purposes was to connect people up when somebody needs something and somebody has something to offer for them.
Yes. And I will say this, and I don't, when COVID first started, I was able to get masks from China because I buy a lot from China. And I had masks and nobody else had them. And I was selling them on Nextdoor, and people were coming up to my driveway like McDonald's,
Yeah.
and picking up masks. And, 1 box, 5 box, 10 boxes, I was getting masks in 50,000 at a time.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and it was funny because every time you'd get them, the shipping would start to cost more,
All right, but
Hey,
let's stay on this app, okay? Stay on this
Yeah.
app project here.
So
So
that's just to
Dennis,
give you an
Dennis,
idea.
give it a try. If you don't like it, you can unload it. But
It's true.
For the most part, it is a beneficial service to be connected with your immediate neighborhood, to know if, people are breaking in cars, or, rash of something, or a missing dog, a missing cat. This has showed up where, my wife suddenly got a ping that there's somebody, it was very cold, bad weather, somebody lost the dog. Another neighbor heard about this. We're all out looking, and we found the dog, because of that. So that did help.
So years ago, when I had looked at it from my sister's house, did I misunderstand that they wanted your email contacts and they never did then? Or they just
They wanted it, and they still do want it. They used to be a little more pushy about it than they are now. But it's kind of like with Facebook. You can allow access to your contacts list, and you can do that with Twitter. You don't have to, but you can, and a lot of people do. Or some people set up a separate contacts list that are just people they're willing to share. But yeah, you've got to be really careful with your email contacts list that it does remain safe and secure. And there's a lot of ways people try to fish in there and get access to it. And then they start sending out spam.
Yeah.
And I think we do have a topic article about this sort of thing.
Right. Okay. Do we have any other last comments or questions? And we can start going in the other stuff that I have on the list.
I have something that ties in with Windows troubleshooting, but when we get to that topic, we can do that. I think what we're doing right now is sort of segging into the contacts list topic.
All right. So I have the list of topics that was sent out. If you can take a moment and let me know which ones you guys, the first one someone wants me to pull up, and we could discuss it.
I think what Dennis was referencing
Was number 2.
number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so he was talking about how to protect. Let me open the hyperlink.
How do you protect your address book?
Yeah, how do you protect your address book? And I will go up to set sharing. One of these stupid pop-ups. Pop-up, pop-up, pop-up. You want to join this? You want to give me your that?
2 words, ad blocker.
Yeah, mine doesn't seem to be working these days, so I'm going to have to. Okay, how do I protect my email address? My email address book. Okay, come on, get to the scenario. We don't need the scenario. Someone in an email account gets hacked. How are we supposed to protect it? Okay, so it's telling us here that we already know that the on a PC, it's a program that your emails are contained in, usually, your client, whatever it is you're using. And that got hacked or your PC got hacked. How do you protect your emails? Use a good password. Well, where do you use a password in your emails? You have a password for your PC, but you don't have a password to open your email accounts. Anyone got an opinion on this one?
Actually, that's your email password.
Oh, okay. Password to get to your emails,
The account password.
the account password.
And you should have two-factor authentication.
Well, that's annoying. Every
I
time I want to read an email, I got to get a notification sent to my phone so I could read the email.
every time I want to get into Gmail, I have to do that now because of the way in which I linked one of my Google services to something.
Okay,
It needed extra security.
that would be annoying as hell. Maybe not for you, but I mean, if you're out on the
Oh,
road, you get, emails all day long to keep having you want to read this one, oh, I got to reauthorize, get authentication turned on or two-factor.
I agree.
yeah, all it is just tapping something on your phone, assuming your phone is open.
Don't log into any accounts using public computers. That is definitely a good thing. In other words, don't go to the library and log into your Gmail account from the library if you can help it. Although libraries, it is a public system. I don't know, anyone's got any opinion on using that?
Don't do anything sensitive or confidential. Nothing
That's the-
financial.
Right. Definitely nothing financial. Okay. This is,
Don't renew your driver's license there.
Unless around VPN.
A VPN is of limited value in some of those situations.
and
It'll
it's
usually work.
like a library, unless
Yeah.
you open up a VPN session and you can log in. As we discussed at some point earlier, some other meeting, that I have a VPN through my router. And when I'm in a public place, I will open up a VPN session on the device that connects to my router at home. And now I'm encrypted and everything I do is encrypted from that device to my house. And then from my house, I go out to the internet.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Is that-
that's the way I do it when I'm out in public places, like if I go to a Starbucks or something, or we're traveling, you got to go to a public place to use the Wi-Fi. The other thing would be, if you really are concerned, do it from your phone, turn off your Wi-Fi and use your cellular session, and then it's encrypted anyways. Let's see, okay, you may need to change your password, do a reset. This is if you already got hacked, you may want to do that. We already know those type of things that need to be done. Maybe use a like one email type of account for important stuff and another email account, let's say a Yahoo account or AOL or something like that for your non-important stuff.
Yeah, I save my Gmail account for more business types of things, and I don't do shopping through it. I do all that through Yahoo.
Okay.
Which has no security.
I don't care about Yahoo.
Really,
I am just aware that I don't have anything secure in Yahoo.
I'll say that article didn't really tell us an awful lot. I went through it and then it was comments at the end on what people were saying. Oh, you could try this and try that. So we have some other topics here. And
Yeah, we do have topics on Windows troubleshooting. And I did run into an interesting thing that happened.
okay, why don't you tell us about it, Bob?
Okay, what I want to do is actually show you what happened. When I'm going to share my screen,
Please do.
and what happened was, let me just a second, let me get my browser up. Okay, I was updating LibreOffice, and I had deleted the previous installer for the help pack and cleaned up with CCleaner, which includes the registry cleanup. And during the upgrade, I got this message. Can everybody see what that is? The 1714 message?
Yeah.
What this means is that there's a missing resource. The missing resource turned out to be the old installer. And the problem was that I had not only gotten rid of the installer, but I had cleaned up an item in the registry that is the MUI reference to the installer. That in an MSI install operation means that the old installer, even if I download it again, cannot be found until I can successfully run it. And this turns into a catch-22 because the old installer needs to find another resource which it can't find. Long story short, there are troubleshooters which Microsoft has for situations. And for this particular one, there is a problem that blocks programs from being installed or removed. Don't worry that it only goes up through Windows 10. It also works in Windows 11.
Right.
And it's a downloaded troubleshooter. When you open up this troubleshooter, the first thing it does is gives you a list of all the programs for which it knows about the installers. Now, in the case of LibreOffice, things like Revo or Geek Uninstaller only know about the LibreOffice installer. The help pack installer, they don't know about separately, so they can't remove and fix things selectively with the help pack. But this troubleshooter does show the help pack separately. And basically what it does is it takes a Windows component called the MSI installer, and it cleans it up and fixes some registry stuff and things like that. Then I was able to run the old installer, and then the new installer was happy because it found and fixed some problems. So this is one of many different, I'm going to stop share now. This is one of many different troubleshooters that Microsoft has available in the event that you run into problems. Now, what the article that is in the topics list has are a bunch of internal tools that Windows also has, built-in troubleshooters. And those are also nice to be aware of. But the take-home lesson is, some programs like LibreOffice, when you go to put in the new version, you need the old installer and it must still be registered. So don't remove old installers automatically, especially not if they're MSI installers. So that's what I learned. And it took me a couple of hours to figure this one out.
Well, I came across on my, didn't have time to get into all the details, but supposedly Microsoft on the internal troubleshooting you refer to is degrading them. And there's a likelihood that in 2024, they didn't specify when, they'll remove the troubleshooters. Why, I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't get into all the details. I haven't had the time.
Yeah, there's some of them that are getting kind of long in the tooth and they don't work as well with Windows 11. And with these downloadable installers, they can keep updating them so that they have what they need. I actually would rather download a troubleshooter for a particular problem, unless it's something that commonly occurs like Windows Update. With Windows Update, there's a built-in troubleshooter, and I don't think they're getting rid of that. And it'll just clean things up and allow you to proceed. in many cases. So do we want to do anything more with the topic article on this one?
Troubleshooter, you and I've used it for many different things over the years, and they're really good sometimes when you get a stupid network problem that isn't, something's goofy up, just run it. And I've had it solved my issues many for me in that respect. And I do see here that Microsoft did announce they're going to retire the support for their diagnostic tools by 2025, it says. So, which I had, because for a lot of people, those are pretty handy that, especially technical oriented.
Well, this is the first time that I've run into this particular issue, but apparently it's one that does occur from time to time with installers.
I've actually had that happen, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
But up until now, I didn't know that there was a troubleshooter that you could use to clean up the mess and not have to try to get in there manually, which is a nightmare.
They have them so if you uninstall something and it doesn't uninstall completely, they'll take care and clean that for you. Yeah, they've got different avenues in there.
Yeah, this troubleshooter can do quite a number of things. I also have sometimes had to clean up Microsoft Update.
Mm-hmm. Delete.
Okay, anyone else want to continue on this topic? New topic, new direction. They're on my list. Please pick one. Or do I need to put the list up so everyone could see it again?
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Try number 1. I thought that was an interesting article.
Number 1, we will go to number 1. Open hyperlink. Okay, so this one says, where I scrolled by it real fast, sorry. Windows PC has hidden themes. Hidden on your computer.
That's not number 1.
It wasn't number 1. What did I pick up?
Don't know.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That's my bad. My bad. I was looking at the wrong page. So
We can circle back to this one because it's interesting.
I thought that was interesting too. But you know what? We're on that one. I got it open. I'll let's go ahead and do this one. Windows PC has hidden themes. So we got which I remembered in the days gone by is that we used to have hidden themes all the time. I used
I remember in the days we used to buy them.
Oh yeah. And it was like, what themes did you have and which ones did you really like? And you'd share them, and there was all these kind of cool ones out there. But anyways, they're hidden because they aren't actually meant for you. I didn't know that. They're for educational users. Anyone using a fully updated Windows device in school was able to take advantage of these new themes to make their machine a little more personal. In other words, they were doing it for kids. How nice.
Yeah.
They're actually baked into 22H2, which is good to know. And they do require specific set of steps to download. So you got to download these themes, right?
Only on 11?
Was that 11?
I thought so.
Yes,
Yeah, it is Windows 11 22H2.
22H2. So those of us that are running 10, we're SOL, right?
Well, there are other ways of getting different theme packs because Windows 10 has downloadable theme packs from Microsoft.
Okay.
And I use a couple or 3 theme packs with Slideshow.
Well, you might have to do a little registering at it. So you got to make sure you have the latest Windows 22H2 downloaded. And then they give you, you have to go on your registry, do an edit, and they give you in this article, they tell you where to go under local machine, yada, 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 yada. And that you need to look for a D word and you gotta, whatever, follow the instructions that are on here, restart your computer. And when Windows begins installing the themes so that, it'll start installing them right away. You go
Yep.
back to head settings, personalization. I wonder if we could do this in Windows 10. Why can't you?
All you could do is try, in Windows 10, if you have the 22H2 update, there is a possibility you have the same feature. You could check.
I think I could try it. Luckily, I cannot try that on here because I'd have to reboot my machine.
No, you want to try it on a machine you can reboot.
Right. So I'll have to attempt this later on.
Yeah.
And that's all there is on this article. So they tell you once you do that, where'd it go? Okay, once you do this, make this registry edit. I'm sorry, the article was not
Yeah.
very long. So once you do this edit in here, it says you can, what does it do? Right click on the device, then choose a new key, call this education, and in this key, right click the keyword, 32-bit, enabled, right click, modify, okay, restart your machine. It begins to install the themes so that you might have to wait a bit, go back to settings, personalization, and then you can find these new themes. So what are themes? Someone want to elaborate what a theme is on your PC?
Well, it's very easy to show what one looks like
Oh,
because if
I
I were
think
to,
go ahead.
when I was sharing my screen just a moment ago, my desktop background comes out of a theme pack, which I downloaded.
Okay, so you get your background, your icons. I think the way the start bar, does that change a little too?
You can do all those things through personalization, and different themes may give you different options. Mostly it's the desktop image,
Okay,
and some of them have slideshows.
You can do two things. You can either do your own personal kind of customization by individual settings, or you can get a theme pack that you like that will do all these things for you, and you don't have to worry about them. And if you feel like changing to a different theme later, you just change to a new one. That's it.
okay, so I did I typed in personalization and I came up with this themes. I did this from the start. And the themes you have, I have a few canned ones in here. One that came with my Lenovo, and then there's a couple other themes that you could use. They're kind of boring. Windows does not want you to have anything fun. Oh, you could have flowers if you really wanted. Let's see what that looks like. I'll probably, oh great, I just jazzed up my whole PC.
Good.
Let's see what it did. No, I don't know what it did. How did it do anything?
That's what it's going to look like at the top.
Yep, there you go. You can't see this, but if I go to my desktop and share my desktop, where's my desktop?
It's on the screen, top left.
That's what I'm doing. Yep, now I have this big old flower in here instead of what I had before. This is,
Well, hit your start menu.
yep. And so that's my theme that I just changed. Basically changed the pictures. The color schemes is a little different too with that.
Right.
Everything's got a more pastel colors in this particular one.
Right.
Yeah, and you'll find that the title bar colors will change as the pictures change.
Right. So thus is themes.
So I just, when looking at the themes like you were just doing, Sanford, I also clicked on get more themes from the Microsoft Store, and there are pages of them.
There's pages of themes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of those out there. It's not a joke either. It's just unfortunately, when you install 10 or 11, you get a limited set of themes available, and any others you want, you got to go into the store, which a lot of PC users don't bother with.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I've got about 6 or 8 themes I downloaded, theme packs that I
Yep.
downloaded. And they, almost all of them show slideshows, which change every few minutes.
And I see
And
most free.
what was
So you
that?
could have one that displays your photos, your favorite photos in the background or whatever you want it to be, and that could change, as you said, every X number of minutes.
Yeah,
What I said is I see a couple of themes that were 99 cents. Otherwise, the bulk of them look like they're all free.
there's a large number of them that are free. Many of them go under the name Community Showcase.
Gotcha. Cool. I used to use software called Deskscapes. I think, Sanford, you're familiar with that, aren't you?
Oh, a long time ago.
It's still have it, still active. And that's kind of a nice theme manager in its own way if you use it.
Mhm.
As
Sanford,
a
are you-
segue on this here, Ed, because of we got into more themes in the Microsoft Store. A lot of people may not understand it, but more and more things Microsoft used to include in the OS are now removed and put into the Microsoft Store. One thing that it's supposed to do is update all your apps automatically, but I have found at times that doesn't work. So if you open up stores and you go into a left side column towards the bottom, there's an icon labeled library. You click on that, and up in the top right area, you'll see a button about get updates. You click that, you got to give it a little time, and it'll find out if you've got any unupdated applications on your system, and offer you to download and install the updates.
Yeah, and while you guys are talking, I'm doing that right now.
Yep, my library, a little blue dot by it, and I clicked on it, and I've got 2 updates waiting.
Yeah, and this is the thing, and I found out how and why. In personalization, whether you're in 10 or 11, you have a lock screen. Lock
You do.
screen allows for a slideshow, a picture, or spotlight. Spotlight are images they send out periodically that are, many of them are real beautiful. I really like a lot of them. To have Spotlight work, you have to go down into your privacy security settings. You have to go down into backgrounds. I normally have always turned that master switch off.
Yeah.
And that way nothing's running in the background. Well, to get Spotlight to work, you have to turn on the backup master switch. You have to go into all the individual settings, turn them all off but 2. Microsoft Store and settings. You have to leave those on, and then Spotlight will work. It may also help do automatic updates that come via Microsoft Store.
Okay.
Pain in the butt, but that's what I discovered recently.
Okay, we covered themes. I have a question. In Windows, when you dig into some of the settings that are in the way Windows configures itself, you have the option of telling Microsoft or telling the PC how many processors you have. Is there an advantage? By default, it's set to 1. Is there an advantage to changing the default number on there if you have a multi-core, dual-core, quad-core, whatever?
This has this applies to MS config,
right?
The boot options advanced, and the first item is cores. It defaults to 1 core to start up your computer. So everything that's in your startup and Windows itself has to go through one core to come up. That takes more time. If you put a check mark in there and you get a drop down box there of cores, and you select your maximum cores, whether that's you have hyper threading or not. Yeah, put a check mark.
Okay,
A drop down of that one. It says you got 8, so select 8,
select 8.
and then click OK.
Okay, and then
Stop.
the next,
Now
stop.
timeout you've got to 0. That's fine. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Now, right below where your cursor is, it says make all boot settings permanent. Put a check mark.
Okay, I'm not going to do this.
Remember this setting.
Okay.
Otherwise, it loses that setting every time you do updates.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to
Now-
apply this right now because I don't want to interfere with my session.
You won't mess with your sessions because you have the option of not booting now, restarting your system now.
Okay,
So you can click apply because you got a message you got to respond to. Now do that.
okay, all right. Because these changes modify the boot settings, emission. Next time, recovery, you'll need to provide BitLocker your recovery key. I'm not going to play with this at this time on this machine.
That's fine.
Okay.
It still wouldn't reboot the computer. It will pop up a message on exit. Do you want to restart now or later?
Okay. So recap that again. If you change the number of cores,
You're
when you-
using all the resources of your CPU to get all the stuff that starts up from login forward so that you can start doing your work quicker.
okay.
That's
Gotcha.
the main function, and why that is set the way it is as default to one core beats the hell out of me. I've been changing that for more than a decade.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, I used to go on the old computers at the office and change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt. I think it's the nuttiest damn thing. If you got multi-cores, I don't care if it's 2 cores to 16 cores or more, they should all be active at boot up to maximize the speed. But one thing I can think of, and that's the only thing I can think of, is the backward compatibility history and people still using a spinning hard drive. If you activate all the cores, it will only speed it up a little bit. If you got SSDs, which Microsoft has been encouraging since I think 2021 for the manufacturers to put in as the boot drive, then it starts becoming a high impact item and you get up much, much quicker.
Sanford picked 8, but what if he only had 4? Would that be a problem or no?
No, all you're saying is, I want to use every resource, which is the cores in my computer, and I want to use it to the maximum efficiency to get my system up and running. So as soon as it's up, I can start doing my work instead of sitting there waiting and wasting a lot of time. And there are people with slow systems. They could start up their computer as soon as they get up, go fix and eat breakfast and get dressed before their system even comes up. That's how slow it is. So it depends upon the characteristics of your machine. And I'm trying to maximize how quickly I can get my system up and running.
Okay.
This is a feature that goes way, way back.
Bill, are you waving?
I'm waving. I gotta go.
Waving goodbye?
Bye.
Bye. It's good to see you. Wait.
Good
Bill.
meeting.
Okay. Well, that answered that question. Thank you. for elaborating on that. And that one just popped up in my head. The first thing that Tim wanted me to bring up, the first subject, I will go ahead. I have that screen up and let me just share that screen. We're going to run out of time if I don't get moving on this tonight. Okay, how to stop Microsoft Edge from running. Oh, this stuff is so many processes in Windows.
I've noticed that in the past too.
Well, you've got your original load of the browser itself, every tab, and every extension in your browser. They're all separate processes. And the theory is, if one of those has a hiccup that normally would crash your browser or even your system, only that one thing dies and the rest of it keeps on going. That's the general theory. But as you can see here in the task manager, some people use the task manager. They were looking at resources and noticed Edge with so many processes going, what the hell's going on here? And that's because they are segmenting or isolating each process for each tab, the browser itself, and all the extensions.
Is it a form of sandboxing?
No, sandboxing is a separate issue, and there's a whole lot of things. Sandboxing exists in Windows Defender, but
Okay.
to get that operational, you have a whole lot of extra things that have to be set up first for sandboxing to work.
Okay. So each tab that you have open is its own separate process.
Yeah. Now with me, I have tons of tabs, but I put them to sleep, so that minimizes the amount of resources my browser would show up in Task Manager. But still, I have a lot of processes going. If I were to open up all the tabs in my browser, holy mackerel.
Okay, so what it's telling you here is remove unused extensions.
Right.
Well, boy, how often do you put extensions in that you're not going to use? Mostly you put them in because you want to use them.
Well, no, it's usually a case where you put one in, we're trying it out, you stop using it, and those are the ones that you would target to remove.
Okay, you also go to the settings in Edge and you choose performance, system performance, and let's see, close some unused tabs. Oh, you could disable both of those features in Edge settings using system performance. Got it.
Right, and you there's a little puzzle piece up near the right-hand corner. That little puzzle piece gives you an option to open up extension management. When you do that, you see it says manage your extensions. Click that. It opens up another tab.
You guys seeing this?
All the ones. So if you stop wanting to use Camelizer, you just click it off. It's still there, but it's not taking up the resources.
I gotcha. And for anyone that ever shops on Amazon, Camelizer is great. I love that little extension because when you're on an Amazon page and you're looking at a product, it will tell you the history, the historic pricing for that device, the highs and the lows, and it'll let you set up watch lists, price watches for that device. So if you want to buy something when it drops down to $10, you just put it as an alert and it'll let you know when that item drops down to $10 and sends you an email. It's a great little thing. No problems with it, no hitches whatsoever. That's a good extension.
There's several others that I use. Part of them are protections. Some people rely upon their AV program for protections against malware infections. That means the malware is already installed on your system. I put some protections in the browser to try and stop those getting in and installed to start with.
Yeah, there are security programs now, quite most of them, in fact, which offer browser protections or browser guards as part of the product or part of the suite.
Right. And those I think are worthwhile if you can stop a infection from getting into your machine and getting its roots in. That's what you want to do. You don't want to wait until it's already taken a hold in your system and try and get rid of it without damage.
Well, I don't see these listed here. Where am I getting these extensions you guys keep talking about?
Right here at the bottom, wait a minute, go over to, you're in Firefox now.
Yes,
Okay, that makes a difference.
I know it makes a difference.
Right here, find more add-ons at the bottom. And then you go to the top there, it says, find more add-ons in the search box.
Okay,
So if I were to put in malware bytes browser guard, right in that find box, type in malware bytes, just that's all you need. It'll come to the top of that list. And there it is. Malware bytes browser guard. Click it. Hit add to Firefox. With any kind of Chromium one, you can go to the Chrome Web Store, get add-ons. And now go up to that puzzle piece again.
hold on. I started something and I shouldn't have done that while I'm doing
It's
this.
already there. It's all almost
All right,
done.
back up to the puzzle piece.
And now click on the gear. Oop,
Sorry, my bad.
click on the gear. And you can pin it to the taskbar next to the Gramerly.
Okay,
Leave that up there.
okay.
And now you know that you have that one level of protection to try and stop bad things getting into your browser and into your system.
And you can also easily access the settings to modify what that browser guard will do.
That's
There may
right.
be sites where you need to do a little tweaking.
All you
Okay.
have to do is right click to get into the properties.
Yeah.
Okay. This other this other extension that I have on here that Tim had suggested some time ago, this Gramerly, I have found this invaluable.
Absolutely.
This is a great little add-in on my laptop. It basically enhances or fixes your communication issues.
Yes.
Meaning it does your spell check, it does your grammar on something you're writing, tells you, it put a comma, it gives you suggestions after you wrote the sentence. It will give you suggestions, it'll underline something in red, and it'll say this needs to be fixed, and it'll give you suggestions of what you could do. So when you're going to send out an email to somebody, you're not talking like you got garbage in your mouth.
It works on just about any browser.
Right.
But there is another Gramerly that's for the desktop. And if you have that one installed on your desktop and you run it, it will work in some other programs like a word processor possibly, but it doesn't work in everything.
It's a very good one. I'd recommend that one highly to anybody else. So we're into manage extensions. What do we want to do? We want to get more? Oh, find more, right?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay, so what's another one?
There's canvas space fingerprint and then hit enter.
CANVAS?
Yes, canvas space fingerprint. Press enter.
Whoop, something like that.
First
Fingerprint. Okay. Defense.
what this does is it starts hiding from websites information about your system. There's a corresponding one. I don't know, remember the origins, but I think it has to do with Google. you would type in the search area, WEB, G as in George, L as in Larry. And that one is by
Wait,
the
hold on,
same.
Tim, let's talk about this one first. Is this one good one? Why should we want this one versus another one?
Anytime you go to a website, they collect information about you and your system, your computer, your browser, any information they can glean from your system. This tries to block and hide as much of that information as you can.
Okay, all right. And then another one was that you were going to reference to another product.
WEB.
Hold on, I gotta find this first. I'm not as fluid at this.
Right at the top, yeah. Just
Go ahead.
WEB GL. Enter. One there.
Okay, it's WebGL Fingerprint Defender.
Yes, and this dovetails with the other one. The other one was the original, and somewhere along the line, I think it's Google that made changes to browsers like Chrome, and so Edge uses it too. Any Chromium-based program browser uses WebGL also. So this is trying to block websites from an alternate way of getting information about your system.
Okay. Someone else have ones that they really like to use, other extensions? Anyone?
Stanford, I'm gonna say goodnight.
Okay, good night, Wayne.
Take care. Thank you.
Wait, wait.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any other extensions they'd like to use? None. Okay.
I would like to say one thing.
Yes,
If you've probably heard of Ghostery, and you may have heard of other extensions which stop trackers, and there are also extensions that'll clean up all these tracks once they're created from your browser.
okay,
So Ghostery is the privacy add-on that a lot of people like.
Yes.
It doesn't operate like an ad blocker. It doesn't have a blacklist per se.
this particular one I have here,
Yeah.
Ghostery Privacy Ad Blocker.
Yeah, it isn't working entirely from blacklists. So it will work in browsers like Google Chrome, which now limit what those list-based ad blockers can do.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's also another one called Privacy Badger.
Yeah,
It's also popular.
that's from EFF, the privacy people.
Right. And you
Ah.
turn that on, and then you have to accept.
Yeah, you have to allow it, and
Accept terms.
yeah,
Accept
there's a
terms.
dot. There's a big blue dot.
I got a lot covering up my screen, so I have to, when I'm doing these things, everything's
Near
like
the bottom. Near the
Okay.
bottom.
near the bottom.
It says accept
Oh, accept, I'm
terms.
sorry, thank you,
There you go.
done. Okay,
And then you can customize it to include different kinds of lists. They're not exactly lists, but they're well, anyway, it has different setting levels.
all right. Ghostery. Okay,
And that all those that I brought up work in any Chrome-based browser also.
And with Ghostery, you can also do that in Firefox, as well as the Chromium-based browsers.
okay. Anyone else got a favorite?
I got one that I like, but I do a lot of research. So I have lots of browser windows open in the same browser with lots of tabs. But it only works on Chrome-based browsers, not Firefox. It's
Okay,
called Session Buddy.
Session buddy.
And Session Buddy allows you to save all your open windows and tabs. And you label it something with a date. And you can go back to that at any time, double click on a window, open that window up with all of its tabs. It becomes part of the current active session.
Okay. Well, that was great subjects we went through.
I got that I've been waiting. You know, you were talking, I forget who mentioned that they had, if they looked at all the tabs that they have quite a few.
Yeah, I got, I'm the creator in CCS of what's called the More If Wyze, used to be called on the web page, News and Tips. And I use a Chromebook, and it's Dell 7310. It's obsolete now, but I still use it. And I've had as many as around 63 or 4 windows open for over 2021 tabs.
Okay, wow. Well, I just remembered, you know, I used to have a lot of tabs open a lot of times myself, and there used to be a feature that you could actually like group them tabs up into a little pump.
Yes.
Fresh, but I don't see that feature anymore.
No, it's built into Chrome, but at the same time, I don't use it that way. But because I started before that feature came around, there are add-ons that will do the same kind of thing in extensions.
Okay.
But at the same time, too, there's another one that I use. The original was called the Great Suspender. It puts tabs to sleep, either the ones you have open, or if you you can say, this one here, it's open. I want to put it to sleep. Or I select a range of tabs and I say, put to sleep the range of tabs. Or I'm on the one that I'm working on right now, and I can say, put to sleep any other open tabs on just that window. And but somebody bought out the package, started doing nefarious things. Google banned them.
Oh,
But the original person who created the program brought the original back, relabeled it as the Marvelous Suspender. But it only works on Chromium, Chrome-based browsers. It does not work in Firefox.
okay.
It's a great little tool. Yeah, I couldn't do half of what I do without that tool to put all the open tabs that I have in open windows to sleep, so that they minimize the impact of the article we were discussing here, of what Edge has all open. Well, I use Edge, Chrome, Chromium, Firefox, and a few other incidental browsers from time to time. And I frequently have 2 to 60 some odd windows open with over 2,000 possible tabs. You can't have all that because you haven't got enough memory and storage to keep all that alive. So the Marvelous Suspender puts them to sleep and eliminates that resource that's being taken up. And therefore you get a lot more done, and it's there. Session then does saving. On Chromebooks, there's no regular backup. Session Buddy is the closest thing I've ever found to being able to do a backup. And on top of it, it gives me the ability to see a list of every article title that I have in a tab. And if I put my mouse pointer over any one of those entries, it'll even show me if the tab is open, the URL. Otherwise, it shows the Marvelous Suspender key, so to speak, so that when I go to that tab that's asleep. I just tap anywhere inside of the web browser window, and it will wake up that particular tab, bring in fresh content, and you start using. And
I
then
like-
put it to sleep.
I like that. When I'm doing research as well, I know exactly what you say. You can end up with so many tabs open and you try to organize it. And I've tried using multiple desktops, and there's a lot to that.
The
make
bad part is I haven't found a good one for Firefox. However, I learned just recently, and I haven't been able to research it all. Workona, I think is what it was called. WORKONA, I think it was. And but that one there, you're using the owner's website. So that's where it's storing a lot of stuff. And I think it requires a payment, but it wasn't too spectacular as far as cost.
Gotcha. Wow. Stuff.
Okay, Workona Tab Manager, and your mileage may vary on that one.
That's not a joke. It does things a little bit different, and it does apparently work in Firefox, but it also works on Chrome and Chromium based browsers as well. I just haven't been able to do some research on it.
Okay, gentlemen, we're at the end of our evening. I say thank everyone for attending tonight. Any last comments or questions?
Yeah, Sanford, what
Yes.
was that program that we used to use? I think you still have it on your PC, where you group all your folders together.
Oh.
And I thought they stopped after a certain point. You couldn't use it anymore.
You
Fences.
mean on my desktop?
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
the
Fences.
Yes.
Effie, it's made by a company called Starduck. You could buy it on sale for like $15 for one license for one machine, or you could buy a multiple license for, I think, 3 machines or something like that for a different price. But I have it on this desktop right here that I use.
Yeah.
I love it. I really, it just,
I always did like it when we had the free version, and then they went to, you had to buy it.
yes, they got away from that. Let's see if I go here and choose share and then minimize my screen, minimize that. And you
Yep.
could see my desktop,
Yep.
even though I changed the theme here, this is Fences.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Okay.
in
Will that
addition,
work on a Chromebook?
I
I
Nope.
don't know.
No?
I know it works on a PC. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I don't think that works on a Chromebook, but
Yeah, I remember we used to have it on the PC before.
Yeah.
I think some of my older ones probably still have it.
there is Microsoft Power Toys. It has a weak version of something like Fences in it, and I don't remember the exact title, but I remember it's in there. So you'd have to go out and get Microsoft's Power Toys. It's made by Microsoft employees.
I don't know if you see this pop-up that's here. It says Stardock Fences. Okay.
Yep.
So, you set up the color, the appearance, the transparency. This is very similar, Rick. They write it for Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 8, whatever you're going to be using. So this is still here. Yeah, the one thing you need to know is they do come out with new versions, and you do not get an automatic upgrade to the next version. You have to
Okay.
buy it. It's a purchase thing, but the changes over time are very subtle that you really don't need
Yeah.
to. It's
No, I
by
mean,
get
it's great because I love the grouping.
that desktop. Now you set up your pages. Not see roll up, whether you want something to roll up like that. That's kind of do quick hides, layout, snapping. So if you remember tonight, I made a change to my desktop, correct? I changed
Yep.
the theme. All I have to do is it does snapshots.
It'll go back.
And it'll go back, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to choose Restore Snapshot. restore this snapshot and hopefully, didn't I just do that? Oh, okay, restore snapshot.
Thought you said.
No, just restore. There we go. And it didn't do it. So, but it's supposed to do this. I'll figure this out in a bit why it didn't work, but I really like this product. It's worth the $15 to buy it.
That's the same company that made my Deskscapes, the Stardock. That's who
Yep.
makes.
Yeah, they have several other items that they sell that are for desktops, and I do like it.
The Power Toys program you're talking about is Fancy Zones, is what they refer to it as.
That rings a bell.
Yep, that's what it is.
Okay, everybody, I'd like to conclude the meeting. Thank you all for attending. I would like to remind those that may or may not remember, all our videos are recorded and posted on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel that is under the Chicago Computer Society. And they're broken out by the individual clubs, that is the individual clubs as well as the SIGs, which this is a tips and tricks SIG. In the email that was sent out to you, there is a link to the YouTube videos. I encourage you to subscribe. If you are not a subscriber, please do. And this way you get to see what we've done in the past, or when something new is posted, you get a notification about it being out there. So they're all free. It's on YouTube. Watch them at your leisure. It's nice to go through and recap if you miss something. That's the bonus.
Each group, if you look carefully, it will show you view list. View list will show you a listing of all the meetings, so that if you're looking for a particular one, you just go open up that individual one. Otherwise, it starts showing you the latest one that's at the top.
I believe we have, what, 94 videos already posted on YouTube.
Yeah, but it should have been more, but I know why.
It does. There should have been more, but we have technical issues often that creep up on when Tim or I are doing these and they fail, so they don't get posted. That's the reason to be here in person. But if you can't, go back and check them out. And with that, I say goodbye, everybody. Thank you for attending, and we'll hope to see you all next month at the April Tips and Tricks. And coming up next week, Tim, we have 2 meetings.
Now we got Ed Keating's Northwest Computer Club this Thursday.
This Thursday.
And next Tuesday is South Suburban Computer Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 more meetings coming up. Please attend them.
Hey,
Aloha.
it's been great seeing everyone again. Thank you much. Hey, Ricky, it's been
Yep.
a long time. I think
Yep.
since enjoyed.
Yeah, good seeing Rick again.
Good to see Rick again. Yeah. Good to see Carl again. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
right,
Okay,
careful.
goodbye.
Good-
Good night.
Stop recording.